You're merely a shadow masquerading as if this place belongs to you. Clarissa's piercing voice echoed from the foyer, her designer suitcase scraping against the floor as she made her way to the front door. Perhaps upon our return you will have discovered a space that truly belongs to you. My father nodded, his gaze averted, avoiding the weight of my eyes. We have shown you such kindness by allowing you to remain here without paying rent. Many parents would have already severed ties with their grown children by this point. I lingered in the kitchen doorway, my morning coffee growing cold in my quaking hands. This is my house, I whispered, my voice trembling with unspoken feelings. She entrusted it to me. You understand that deeply. Clarissa rolled her eyes, a wave of exasperation washing over her. Once more we find ourselves lost in that dream. Speak to her, Richard. My father's jaw clenched, a storm brewing beneath the surface. Your mother dreamed of us living together as a family, not for you to reign over us like a queen. Legally, I'm still legally what, Dad? I confronted, my voice betraying a strength I didn't truly possess. With a tight grip, he clutched the handle of his suitcase. Our flight is slipping away from us. Emily sits alone in the car, anticipation hanging heavy in the air. The door crashed shut, plunging me into the haunting stillness of the Victorian house my mother had tenderly revived before cancer stole her away 5 years ago. I am Sarah Whitmore, 24 years old, and though my father and stepmother think otherwise, this house in suburban Philadelphia is mine by right. My mother insured it, placing the property in a trust with me as the sole beneficiary after she passed away. All I seek is a profound respect for my mother's desires and a heartfelt recognition of my rightful claim. My father stands before me, conveniently erasing the trust's terms from his memory, while Clarissa, my stepmother for 3 years, regards me as nothing more than an unwelcome intruder in my own home. I inhaled deeply, my heart heavy as I approached the expansive bay window, eyes fixed on their car retreating down the driveway. In the dim light of the car, my stepsister Emily, just 18, sat in the back seat, her face aglow with the flickering light of her phone screen. They were off to the Bahamas for 10 days, a family vacation from which I had been intentionally left out. As their car vanished from sight, a familiar ache of hurt and anger surged within me. For years I endured their dismissive ways, convincing myself it was what Mom would have wanted, to keep us together, even in her absence. A notification shattered the silence, an email from Clarissa meant for my father, yet it found its way to me, uninvited. Richard, I've had a conversation with Harold. He whispers that when we return from our escape, we can finally take the step to remove Samara from our lives for good. He believes her assertion regarding Caroline's desires will crumble without the original trust documents. My stomach plummeted. Who was Harold, really? What was Clarissa hinting at regarding the original trust documents? A wave of dread washed over me as I grasped the true depth of the situation, far more dire than I ever envisioned. My mother, Evelyn Hart, was a remarkable architectural historian, dedicating her life to the tender restoration of historic homes in Philadelphia. This house, a Queen and Victorian from 1887, stood as her ultimate triumph and deepest affection. She bought it, a broken shell of a home, when I was only 7, pouring every ounce of her heart and all her savings into bringing it back to life. My childhood echoes with the rhythmic sounds of sanders and hammers, the intoxicating scent of varnish and paint, and my mother's vibrant thrill as she unveiled the beauty of original fixtures and woodwork. Father never embraced her fervor. As an accountant, he bore the weight of Caroline's costly passion, yet his grievances echoed endlessly, a constant reminder of the turmoil it brought into their lives. Their marriage already frayed, hung by a thread before Mom's diagnosis, yet they clung to each other, mostly for my sake. Upon discovering her cancer was terminal, Mom poured her heart into meticulous plans for what lay ahead. At 19, a sophomore in college, I found myself immersed in architectural preservation, tracing the path she once walked. Amidst the relentless cycle of chemotherapy, she met with attorneys, established the trust, and shared heartfelt conversations with me about her dreams for the house. One day, this will be yours, she whispered, her delicate fingers gliding over the ornate balusters of the grand staircase. Your father can stay here for as long as he needs, yet this house is yours alone. Swear to me you'll keep it safe. I made a vow, naturally. I never expected how swiftly Dad would find a way to carry on after her passing. He encountered Clarissa at a work event, just shy of a year since his mother's passing. 6 months later, she and Emily filled our home with modern furniture that clashed violently with the Victorian charm, their presence heavy with the unspoken notion that they were bestowing a favor by gracing my father's house. At first, I made every effort to embrace their needs. In the midst of my college journey, I found myself enveloped in grief, yet clinging to the fragile threads of family that remained. Clarissa's attempts at warmth flickered like a candle in the dark, always seeming more like a show than a true connection. Emily lingered in the shadows, lost in her phone or hidden away in her room. Everything shifted when they came into our lives. He started calling Mom's lovingly collected antiques that old junk, pushing for a modern touch in rooms steeped in history. As I voiced my concerns, recalling Mom's desires, he would retreat, his warmth fading into an icy silence. "Your mother has left us, Samara," he would whisper. "The living must take precedence now." Last year, I graduated and embraced a new chapter, securing a position with the local preservation society that kept me rooted in Philadelphia. I could have left, carved out a space just for me. At times, I pondered the reasons behind my choice to remain in a place that grew more uninviting with each passing day. It was a revelation, clear yet profound. This house stands as Mom's enduring legacy, her last precious gift to me. Leaving felt like a deep betrayal of her memory. I bore the quiet jabs, the isolation, the slow fading of my belonging in what was meant to be my sanctuary. As I gazed at Clarissa's mistakenly sent email, a wave of doubt washed over me. Had my patience been in vain? With my father and Clarissa now worlds apart, I chose to embrace their absence as a chance to seek the truth hidden within my heart. Who was Harold, and what did Clarissa imply about the trust documents? I began in my father's home office, a space that once held my mother's cherished library. The transformation echoed the profound shifts within our home, her once warm, book-lined sanctuary now reduced to a cold workspace, overtaken by Clarissa's relentless order. I lingered at the threshold, a sense of trespass washing over me, even though I held the title to this place. The desk drawers revealed a haunting emptiness, office supplies, bills, and a handful of family photos, each one a painful reminder of my absence. I focused on the filing cabinet, each folder bearing Clarissa's meticulous handwriting, drawing me deeper into her world. Deep within the shadows of the bottom drawer, a thick manila envelope emerged, its label whispering secrets of Wells House Legal. My hand shook ever so slightly as I unveiled it, laying its secrets bare upon the desk. Within lay familiar documents, the trust agreement my mother crafted, designating me as the beneficiary while my father remained a lifetime tenant, bound by intricate conditions. Yet, amidst the familiar, I stumbled upon fresh papers, letters exchanged with a man named Mr. Benson, a real estate attorney. They revealed a tense dialogue about dismantling the old trust and claiming rightful ownership. A yellow sticky note, scrawled in my father's familiar handwriting, whispered a haunting question. Original trust documents in Caroline's old lockbox? Sam could hold the key. A chilling realization enveloped me. They sought the original trust documents, perhaps to erase their very existence. Without those papers, my truth hangs in the balance, pitted against my father's version of my mother's intentions. With each word I absorbed, the weight of the betrayal pierced my heart. For months, my father poured his heart into consultations with this attorney, desperately seeking a way to claim the house as his own. Clarissa passionately argued that their mother, under the influence of her faded memorin, had been mentally compromised when she established the trust. Harold's latest letter laid bare their strongest accusations, painting me as the villain in my own sanctuary, claiming I had shattered the trust by disrupting Richard's peace. It was a surreal twist of fate, turning my world upside down. I sank into my chair, papers strewn about, a haunting numbness washing over me, eclipsing the shock I once felt. My father wasn't merely forgetting my rightful claim, he was secret plinto seized my inheritance to obliterate my mother's last wishes. With a heavy heart, I collected the papers and retreated to my room. From the depths of my closet, I unearthed a small fireproof box, the last precious gift from my mother. Within lay the original trust agreement, precisely as she instructed, alongside a sealed envelope I had never dared to open, labeled for moments of conflict. My hands trembled as I shattered the seal. Within lay a letter penned in my mother's delicate script, accompanied by a business card for Mrs. Aldrich, Trust Administrator. My beloved Samara, if these words reach you, it means Richard has forsaken the vows he made to me. I yearn for him to respect my desires, yet I've steeled myself for the heartache of his refusal. Eliza holds the weight of enforcing the trust terms should the need arise. This house belongs to you, my dear. Never let anyone sway you from that truth. Forever in my heart, Mom. I traced her beloved handwriting with trembling fingers, tears clouding my sight. From beyond the grave, she shielded me, foreseeing dangers I never could have fathomed, especially from my own father. Instead of relief from this safeguard, I was engulfed by an overwhelming sense of loss. All the last remnants of belief I held in my father's character lay in ruins. The parent I believed in, imperfect yet loving, was nothing but an illusion. Even with the power to safeguard my legacy, my heart hesitated, unprepared for the weight of that choice. I was engulfed in the weight of this betrayal, grappling with how to navigate the fragile remnants of my family without shattering them completely. With trembling hands, I tucked everything away, my heart pounding with a whirlwind of unanswered questions. How long had Dad kept this secret in his heart? Did his bond with Clarissa intertwine with his ambitions for the house? And with a heavy heart, he wondered, had he ever truly embraced Mom's wishes, or had he merely been waiting for the right moment all along? As dawn broke, I found myself dialing the number etched on Mrs. Aldridge's business card, my heart racing with anticipation. As I revealed my identity, a warm, professional voice broke through the silence, whispering, "I've been waiting for the moment to hear from you, Samara." We planned to meet that afternoon in her downtown office, a space filled with unspoken tension. Eliza emerged as a formidable presence, a woman in her 60s with silver hair and eyes that cut through the air, echoing the intensity of my mother's gaze. Caroline poured her heart into establishing this trust, her voice steady as she meticulously reviewed the documents I had brought. "Your father's tenancy conditions are undeniably precise. He can live in the home without paying rent for the rest of his life, as long as he recognizes your ownership and respects your rights as the beneficiary." "He's been doing the exact opposite," I whispered, revealing the evidence I had uncovered. "He's desperately working to shatter the trust we once held dear." Eliza's expression clouded with shadows. "Such an act would shatter the very foundation of trust we hold dear." She pored over the papers from my father's office, each word a whisper of his presence. "Attorney Brennan is charging forward with fierce determination. Are there deeper wounds beyond the rejection of your claim?" With a heavy heart, I recounted the growing animosity, the deliberate isolation, and the latest incident that unfolded just before their getaway. "Ah, I see," she poured her heart into those careful notes. "To unleash verbal torment and craft a hostile space for the beneficiary would betray the very essence of our agreement. Your mother foresaw the storms ahead and crafted shields to guard against them. What sort of safeguards are in place? As the trust administrator, I hold the power to uphold the conditions, even to the point of ending your father's right to reside in the property if he significantly falters." A tumultuous wave of relief and anxiety crashed within me. The answer lay before us, yet the price weighed heavily on our hearts. Evicting my father felt like a heart-wrenching decision, one that could shatter any hope for healing between us. "I don't truly wish to cast him away," I confessed. "All I long for is for him to honor my mother's wishes and show me the simplest form of respect." Eliza nodded, her heart heavy with understanding. "Let us begin with a heartfelt letter, gently reminding him of the sacred terms of the trust." At times, the stark truth of legal consequences can awaken a profound shift in one's actions. This approach felt grounded, resolute, yet not catastrophic. As I waited, Eliza poured her heart into the letter, detailing my father's duties under the trust and yearning for a meeting upon his return to confront the pressing matters of compliance. "Text this must be here for him when he returns," she whispered, pressing the envelope into my hands. "In the interim, capture every fleeting word and moment that unfolds. If he chooses to escalate instead of comply, we will require proof to pursue more decisive measures." I departed with a flicker of hope, wrapped in uncertainty. The letter would act as a poignant reminder, stirring emotions yet preserving the fragile bond we share. Maybe when my father finally grasps the futility of his ambitions with Mr. Benson, he'll confront the truth, and we can begin to mend the fragile threads of our family. That evening, my phone vibrated softly, revealing a message from Clarissa. "We must discuss your actions in our absence. Richard is shattered. Prepare for a transformation upon our return." A photo of my father's office lay before me, the desk drawers ajar, papers scattered, a haunting reminder of moments lost. They must have set up cameras before they left, a thought that should have crossed my mind. My presence had been unveiled. Moments later, an email from my father pierced through the silence. "Your betrayal of my privacy cuts deep, leaving me profoundly hurt. As I sift through my personal documents, the truth unfolds, revealing the reasons you lack the maturity for home ownership. Upon our return, we will seek the counsel of our attorney without delay." I sent both messages to Eliza, my hands trembling with anticipation. Her reply came like a thunderclap. "This transforms everything we thought we knew." Their fierce demeanor hints at an unwillingness to engage with the letter's sentiments. "I urge you to let me invoke the trust's enforcement provisions at this moment." With a heavy heart, she was urging me to take the irreversible step of initiating the ask-to-move-out process, the last resort I desperately wished to evade. Just as I was about to respond, another email came through, this time from Mr. Benson himself. Ms. Wells, I have been entrusted by Richard and Clarissa Wells to address the contentious matter surrounding the property at 1847 Chestnut Avenue. I implore you to halt all communication with my clients and redirect any future messages to my office. We must inform you that we are readying ourselves for legal action in response to your baseless claims on the property. My heart shattered as I understood that my careful, deliberate steps had led me astray. In warning them, I merely hastened their intentions. The hope that once filled my heart vanished, leaving behind a gut-wrenching realization that this conflict was spiraling toward an unfixable fracture. Mom, I breathed into the silence, what shall I do now without you? The following morning I reached out to Eliza, my heart heavy with the weight of our choices. Her words pierced through the silence, resolute and unwavering. Samara, your father has sought legal counsel and they are already poised for battle. This implies a swift action awaits upon their return. We must answer with unwavering resolve. What is it that you truly wish to suggest? I pleaded. A tight knot twists in my stomach. I urge you to seek the court's immediate intervention to enforce the trust provisions, including a legal protection to keep your father and his wife away from the property until a full hearing can take place. A legal protection? Isn't that just so intense? This moment is not right. Their words reveal a deep betrayal. A chilling plan to strip you of your rightful place, shattering the trust that once held everything together. The legal protection serves to hold everything in place, a fragile pause, until a judge can uncover the deeper truths. I wandered my room, lost in the weight of her words. They have 8 fleeting days left in paradise. Must we rush into this decision? Eliza revealed, the timing unfolds in our favor. Filing now grants us a precious moment to secure the order before their return, shielding us from a confrontation that could spiral into chaos. Keep in mind they remain unaware of your communication with me, or that you possess the original trust documents. Her reasoning was flawless, yet the burden of the choice bore down on her heart, suffocating. This was so much more than mere property rights. It was a heart-wrenching act of cutting the last ties that bound me to my family. After a long pause, I finally whispered, "Let me think about it." After the call ended, I drifted through the hushed home, my fingers tracing the walnut banister my mother had tenderly restored, gazing at the glass window she had commissioned to replace the shattered original. Every corner whispered her name, echoing the dream she painted for this home. My thoughts were shattered by a sudden ping, a banking alert I had arranged after uncovering their intentions. In a moment of disbelief, I discovered that my father had secretly triggered a wire transfer from our shared household account, the very account I had filled for our utilities and maintenance, to Mr. Benson's law firm. He was wielding my own money as a weapon in his relentless assault against me. This ultimate betrayal solidified my choice. I rushed to call Eliza back, my heart racing. With a resolve I didn't anticipate, I declared, my voice unwavering, "What is it that you seek from me?" The following days unfolded in a whirlwind of legal turmoil. Eliza rushed to file the emergency petition, gathering affidavits and piecing together the haunting evidence of my father's actions. I was tasked with capturing the essence of the home, chronicling my mother's heartfelt restorations, and crafting a statement about the trust's inception. Just 3 days before my father and Clarissa were set to come back, Eliza's call shattered the silence with shocking news. "The judge has granted our petition," she whispered, "but a shadow looms over us." As we delved into your mother's original will and trust documents, a profound revelation emerged. What sort of something is it? Unbeknownst to us, your mother included a provision that changes everything. Should your father choose to remarry, the trust compels him to either buy your share of the property at its true worth, or find a new place to call home within a year. I sank into my seat, overwhelmed. Was he really meant to buy me out after tying the knot with Clarissa? Indeed. 3 years ago, when he wed Clarissa, the provision was set in motion, yet it seems he kept this secret from the trust. Caroline sought to protect you from the pain of living with a stepmother who could undermine your place in the world. The weight of the implications crashed down on me in a single overwhelming moment. He not only denied my ownership, but for 2 long years, he has shattered the trust between us by refusing to buy me out or leave. Indeed. But wait, there's so much more. Caroline entrusted a sealed letter to my office, a haunting reminder to be opened only if this particular promise was broken. My heart pounded fiercely. What does it reveal? You must read it for yourself, Eliza whispered, her voice trembling with urgency. Will you join me in my office this afternoon? Hours later, I found myself in Eliza's office, my mother's letter quivering in my grasp. Her final message to me, written in familiar handwriting, became a blur as tears streamed down my face. My beloved Samara, if these words reach you, know that Richard has taken another as his wife and has chosen to dwell in our home, disregarding the sacred terms of the trust. It pains me to admit that I'm not surprised. His bond with the house has always felt like a claim rather than a love. What Richard remains unaware of, a secret I've kept buried deep, is that the money for buying and reviving our home didn't solely stem from my paycheck. It was a gift from my grandmother, a legacy bound by the unbreakable ties of blood, demanding that the property stay within our family's embrace. Richard's connection to the house is now severed, a bond broken by his own betrayal of the trust one once extended to him. I have urged Eliza to assist you in reclaiming what is truly and justly yours. This house is more than just walls. It is your legacy, a treasure passed down through the hearts of the women who came before us. Hold your ground, my courageous one. Within you lies a strength beyond your understanding. Forever in my heart, Mom. I gazed at Eliza, her stillness a stark contrast to the storm of emotions swirling within me as I processed this revelation. This alters the very fabric of our reality, doesn't it? Her head tilted in silent agreement. Your father holds no rights to the property at all. With this revelation, Eliza and I reshaped our legal approach, our hearts heavy with the weight of what lay ahead. Instead of merely enforcing the trust conditions, we would seek to fully terminate my father's tenancy rights due to numerous breaches, denying my ownership, fostering a hostile atmosphere, trying to undermine the trust, neglecting the remarriage provision, and misappropriating household funds. As we completed the paperwork, Eliza's voice trembled. The legal protection is now in place. When they come back, the door will be forever closed to them. The sheriff will deliver the ask to move out notice, setting the stage for a court hearing that will determine the final outcome. I nodded, a strange calm washing over me, even as the weight of our decision loomed large. What is the timeline we are facing? The fleeting order endures for just 30 days. The hearing for a permanent resolution looms in the third week, a fleeting moment for your father to find a new place to call home. As I drove home, my mind swirled with the weight of this sudden change. Much of the furniture belonged to my mother, carefully noted in the trust inventory, yet my father and Clarissa had woven their own memories into the space with their additions. Emily's bedroom was a sanctuary, brimming with her cherished treasures. I must arrange for them to retrieve their belongings, but only under careful watch. The burden of shattering Emily's world pressed heavily on my heart. In the midst of our estrangement, she remained a fragile soul caught in the turmoil of grown-up battles. With trembling hands, I gathered her belongings, each item a whisper of memories, hoping to shield her from the pain of parting. Just 2 days before their planned return, an unfamiliar Philadelphia number pierced the silence with an unexpected call. Is this truly Sarah Whitmore? A soft, youthful voice inquired. Yes, who dares to disturb my solitude? It's Emily. Her voice trembled with unspoken weight. We must have a conversation about something deeply significant. In a moment of disbelief, I inquired, are you really still in the Bahamas with your mom and my dad? I am, though I find myself speaking from the hotel phone. I can't bear the thought of them finding out. She lingered, caught in a moment of uncertainty. I listened to their whispers in the dark last night. Their voices clashed over the house, and you became the heart of their turmoil. A knot formed in my stomach. What were their words? Richard revealed that their lawyer believes they might seize the house by claiming you seemed distressed or something similar. Mom whispered an idea, a dangerous allure in her voice, suggesting they could craft an image of peril around you. Emily's voice fell to a whisper. They whispered of sowing a seed in your room upon our return. I can't pinpoint it, but something felt deeply wrong. I was left breathless by the revelations. They schemed to create false evidence against me, aiming to portray me as a threat, as if I were unhinged. It was a heart-wrenching, shameful maneuver. Thank you for sharing this with me, Emily. Your courage was truly remarkable. It felt all wrong, and whispers of other truths reached my ears. It's about the truth of ownership, how this house belongs to you, not Richard. Is that really true? Indeed, I uttered that word with ease. It was a gift from my mother, a piece of her heart now in my hands. The silence stretched on, heavy and profound. They kept it from me all along. Mom always whispered that it was Richard's house, and you were merely a guest, waiting for the day you could finally find your way. A moment hangs in the air. My heart aches for the way they've hurt you. Her sudden understanding stirred deep emotions within me, leaving me in tears. This isn't on you, Emily. I must slip away before they realize my absence, yet I needed you to understand. As soon as the call concluded, I reached out to Eliza, compelled to share this urgent revelation. Text, this alters everything, she whispered, her voice heavy with weight. If they dare to weave a web of deceit, we must fortify our defenses with utmost care. I will reach out to the court to seek a modification of the legal protection, ensuring they cannot enter the property for any reason, not even to retrieve their belongings. We will secure a court-appointed supervisor for this delicate journey. I found myself in agreement with her thoughts, yet a fresh anxiety began to take root within me. What will become of Emily? She is merely 18. She mustn't be trapped in this turmoil. Eliza whispered, we can plead for special provisions for her in the court order. Maybe a place where they can meet under watchful eyes or a safe spot to hand over her belongings. In the midst of our conversation about the changes, my phone rang again. This time it was my father on the line. With a heavy heart, I succumbed to the call. Samara, he started, his voice dripping with a feigned warmth. Our minds keep returning to that conversation we shared before parting ways. Clarissa and I deeply regret the pain our words have caused. Upon our return, let us gather as a family to openly share and address each other's needs with care. The abrupt shift in tone echoed Emily's foreboding words. They were orchestrating a trap, luring me into vulnerability before their inevitable return. That felt reasonable, I responded, mirroring his feigned warmth. There is so much we need to unravel together. Once the call faded into silence, I faced Eliza. They have a secret in store for their return. We must prepare ourselves. Her nod was heavy with unspoken sorrow. Fear not, we shall be. The day of my father and Clarissa's return arrived, radiant and clear, yet it foreshadowed the tempest that would soon engulf our family. Following Eliza's instructions, I left the house, my heart heavy as I stood across the street, witnessing the gathering on the front lawn, the sheriff's deputy, Eliza, embodying her role as trusted administrator, and a court representative poised to record the unfolding events. At exactly 2:15 p.m., the taxi arrived, a moment heavy with anticipation. I saw my father step out, his expression serene from the holiday until his gaze fell upon the official cars. Clarissa trailed behind, her designer sunglasses concealing the turmoil within her. Emily lingered, her gaze locking onto mine from afar, a subtle, barely there nod that spoke volumes. From where I stood, the words were lost to me, yet the unspoken language of their bodies revealed everything. The sheriff advanced, the weight of the court order heavy in the air between them. My father's body tensed in disbelief, his hand trembling as it grasped the documents. Clarissa tore off her sunglasses, her hands moving frantically as she seemed to cry out in defiance. Eliza held her composure, her finger tracing the lines of the paperwork with quiet intensity. The court representative captured every moment, their notes and photographs weaving a silent tapestry of the unfolding drama. As the truth of their predicament unfolded, my father's expression shifted dramatically, first igniting with a deep, furious hue, then fading into a ghostly pallor of shock. Clarissa erupted, her arms thrashing wildly as she unleashed her fury at the officials, then pivoted to cast a piercing glare at my father. This moment unfolded in a way I never envisioned, filled not with satisfaction, but with a haunting sense of longing. Instead, a tumultuous blend of sorrow and determination washed over me. This was not a triumph to rejoice in, but a poignant conclusion that paves the way for a fresh start. The moment shattered me as Eliza placed the final document in their hands, my mother's letter, revealing the haunting truth of the house funds and the legacy of women that came before me. My father collapsed onto a suitcase, the mask of righteous indignation shattering into a haunting realization as he grasped the magnitude of his error. The house had always eluded his grasp. It was always, without a doubt, my own. In the weeks that followed that fateful clash, the cold mechanics of separation unfolded with a haunting clarity. My father and Clarissa moved into an apartment across town, gathering their cherished belongings under the watchful eye of the court. Our exchanges dwindled to cold emails about logistics, the once warm embrace of family now shattered by betrayal, and the harsh grip of legal intervention. It was Emily who delivered the most unexpected twist. Just 2 days post-eviction, she reached out, yearning to meet at a nearby cafe. Amidst the warmth of hot chocolate, she whispered of their unending battles. Mom's heart aches as she confronts Richard, her voice trembling with the weight of unspoken truths about the house. Richard's heart aches as he points the finger at her, accusing her of forcing his hand towards the courtroom. She lingered in uncertainty. Could I perhaps come by occasionally? This house, it resonates with a warmth that no other place has ever offered us. Her request pierced my heart in ways I never anticipated. Absolutely, Emily. You can do this. Whenever you need me. She started coming over often, first for weekend afternoons, but soon she found solace in her old room, staying overnight as the tensions in the apartment grew too heavy to bear. Amidst the turmoil, we forged a fragile connection, two souls caught in the wreckage of our parents' decisions. On a quiet Sunday morning, my father made a sudden appearance, seeking a chance to mend what was broken. I never intended for it to reach this point, he said, his voice trembling with uncertainty. After your mother passed away, I was consumed by the pain of her not trusting me with the house. It wasn't about trust, Dad, I whispered, my heart heavy with unspoken truths. It was a matter of legacy, a haunting echo of what we leave behind. Mom fought fiercely to keep the house a cherished legacy for our family, a sanctuary for generations to come. He nodded, a heavy silence hanging in the air. I've come to realize that now. It seems the moment has passed, doesn't it? Maybe one day we could reconstruct a semblance of what we once had, but at this moment, the scars are still raw, the treachery too deep. In the wake of her absence, I immersed myself in my mother's legacy, pouring my heart into the unfinished renovation of the third floor she had envisioned. Every restored molding and thoughtfully selected fixture paid tribute to her vision, deepening my bond with the women who paved the way before me. The house has always known its true owner, Eliza whispered during her visit. Your mother would beam with pride at the way you've safeguarded her legacy. She was undeniably right. This transcended mere possession. It was a poignant tribute to the past, a delicate dance of memories as I forged my future, just as my mother had envisioned.